Hi everyone back home, this is Stephanie Urbanski. I'm super happy to be here. I'm sad to miss our event back home in Vienna, but I'm thrilled to bringing some of San Francisco Silicon Valley spirit back home to Vienna. And I'm super excited to be here with Katie Green, so I'll let her introduce herself.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here too, and I wish I could be with all of you in Vienna. I'm a big believer in networking and professional development, and that's why I'm so pleased to be here speaking with Digitalista. Actually, Stephanie and I met at a Women in Wireless event here in San Francisco. I'm also a volunteer for Women 2.0, which is a global organization promoting female founders in tech, so I think we all have a lot in common. My name is Kathy Green. I work for TapSense. I'm the marketing director there. TapSense is the leading independent mobile ad exchange, bringing publishers and advertisers together in a real-time bidding marketplace. So I'm here to talk more about what we're thinking about in wearables, which is by far the most exciting thing that's happening in tech right now.
Wonderful. So yeah, let's get started. We're here today to talk about wearables. Everyone's talking about wearables, but no one nailed it yet. I mean, we have Google Glass, we have smart watches where you can actually take a call, we have fitness trackers that track your activity or non-activity. What does an ad exchange has to do with wearables?
Yeah, so what we're most excited about at TapSense as an ad exchange is the wearable app ecosystem and where wearables will take apps. Apps revolutionized the tech industry, in particular around mobile phones. So your phone is so much more than a phone or a window into the internet. Apps make everything so much easier and more convenient. On wearables, it's not likely that we're going to be able to look at the internet through a very small screen. Imagine typing in a teeny tiny URL and browsing the mobile web as we know it on a wearable. It'd be really difficult. So we know that apps are going to take off in wearables and make wearables so much more functional for us.
Okay. Where do you, as an ad exchange, see wearables in the future? What's the way we're heading to?
Yeah. So, we're really sort of at the beginning stages of wearables. We're hoping that next week Apple announces an iWatch, so we're all, waiting with bated breath to see what they come up with. But we really see the future as really being the growth of that wearable app ecosystem, like I mentioned. Wearables are already interacting with us in so many different ways. There's wristbands, necklaces, rings, you name it. If you can wear it, you can add a technology component to it. So we know that it's really the next revolution of consumer electronics.
And for you as TapSense, I guess it's all about being there, being the first ones advertising on those wearables at the end of the day.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about how does advertising work on wearables as of today?
Okay, so today, the phone is still very much the hub for wearables. So we announced at TapSense the app for the Pebble download or ad, excuse me. So the ad basically appears on your phone, and you can click through to the Pebble App Store and download that Pebble app to appear on your watch, on your wrist. So that's currently, it's an example of what we're seeing today. Most wearables have a companion app on the phone. So for fitness trackers, that would be a window into your fitness data. So the phone is still very much an important hub for wearables. And we'll see that, I think, for the near future. In the future beyond that, there will certainly be an opportunity for more interaction, both information coming into the wearable, alerting you, and information going out, and using it as a communication tool in a fuller way.
Okay, so just correct me if I'm wrong, but as of now, you can identify people who have a certain wearable, and you can see that on their phone, and you can send them certain advertising on their mobile phone because you know they're using a wearable, a specific wearable device.
And that really comes through having the app on the phone that is the companion app to that wearable, yes.
Okay, cool. I mean, you were touching it kind of already in the last question, but how will advertising look how will advertising on wearables look in the future? I mean, especially considering the small display size, will it be different from what we know advertising today? Banner ads?
Yes, we can definitely expect it to be different. So, as you say, banner ads really sort of translated from the PC to the phone. So I think wearables are finally the point where we can say goodbye to teeny tiny banners. It's just not going to be functional, and it's not going to be a good user experience. So there's really an opportunity for huge innovation in ad format types on wearables.
Okay. Gonna be interesting what we will see, but I guess it will be something like buzzing or alerting people. I mean, that was what you were mentioning.
Yeah, it's going to be highly contextually relevant. You'll know where you are. There's a lot of information that you can get from a wearable that you can't get from a phone, and certainly not from a PC.
Okay, cool. How will ad formats on these devices look like? Is there anything you can tell us yet? Or?
Well, I think a lot of people are very curious to know the answer to that question, and TapSense is certainly working on some confidential projects right now with some big technology players. It really is such a huge opportunity to reinvent mobile ad formats and into wearables in a completely different new way.
Okay, cool. Pricing. Will the pricing models change? I mean, we have CPM, CPC as of now.
Yeah.
Will we stay with that, or?
As far as what I can see, I think that the CPM model, or cost per thousand views, will be a pretty relevant piece to translate to wearables, although with different types of notifications and a different experience than a screen display, we could see some changes to that too.
Okay. Also something we were just touching, but wearables, they track all kind of information, location, where I'm looking at, or even my activity or my health. So there are lots of great possibilities, but also limitations, especially privacy. So how will advertisers tackle that?
So a few days ago, Apple announced that they would prohibit developers from sharing health kit data with advertisers or other third parties that would compromise a consumer's privacy. So Apple has in the past been a great sort of industry leader in protecting user privacy through user IDs and now through health kit data. So I think that they're a good example of how to protect consumer data when we are embarking on this exciting new world with a tremendous amount of personal data, more and more data, that will be available. So I think protecting that is a huge piece to making this work for everyone in the ecosystem.
Okay. One last personal question for you. How do you personally see the future of wearables? And for you, is it more style or function or, yeah?
Thank you, great question. Well, I think we can agree that it has to be style and fashion first. It's something you put on your body. It's got to be something you feel great about wearing. In a previous event that we went to on wearables, that's certainly a key point. It doesn't really matter how functional it is or how great the technology is if you don't feel great wearing it. So certainly I see myself consuming more wearables as they become more and more fashionable.
Okay, thank you so much for taking the time and for stopping by and telling us more what TapSense is working on in terms of advertising on wearables.
Thank you, Stephanie.